There are few industries that have changed as much as retail has over the past 2 decades. The drivers of this change has to be e-commerce and the increasing power of large multi-category retailers, the mega incumbents. For a small retail business, these mega competitors have diluted the market, and by definition, there is less for you to share in. If you're thinking about starting up a business in retail, look at the landscape. Retail has always been a tough industry, so be honest with yourself. Why are you getting into this? Is it a lifestyle choice? That's fine too. Or is it a business choice? Either way, you are chasing success for a purpose. And I know for a fact you don't want to fail. So, you must identify the industry and market. Set the parameters that is success for you and know what your exit is. Make sure you're well aware of your expectations on your exit. Knowing your exit sets the foundation for your success in the future. It focuses your efforts towards building value in the business for the exit. But what if you haven't thought about your exit? So how do you get out of a business that isn't ready for you to get out of it?
Hi, I'm Leah Kress and I'm the owner of The Corner Booth, a small little concept store in the heart of Annandale Village in the inner west of Sydney. I started off my life as a nurse and became a mother of 2, and just as I was about to head back from maternity leave, I had this brilliant idea one day that I wanted to open a shop, and within 2 weeks I had set up my first boutique. Along that sort of journey I had a number of different stores, businesses that I've sold along the way, but the Corner Booth that I have now I've had for the last 17 years. Over the years, obviously things have changed. I mean, the reception from the get-go was amazing. I recall a moment where my father came down to help with a technical issue that we were having in the store. And I remember him being there, I think it was maybe week 2 in our first ever store. And he came away and he said, "You've done something really amazing here." And I remember thinking that was an incredible moment. And I was just like, we've done it. Like, I was so amazed and so proud of myself because I felt successful at that time. I'm always trying to prove a point that I've succeeded. Now, I've probably financially not ever succeeded, in the sense that it's been very hard and financially the rewards have never been there. When you started your business, people would often sell them and that would be their superannuation money or that would be their retirement money. And it was seen as a feasible thing to do, to start a business. The way I see it now, there's no value in small business anymore. Like, you're basically buying yourself a job. If you're lucky enough to sell it, it's certainly not going to be your retirement money, and it's certainly not going to make up for all the lost income that you've had over the years as well. But it's kind of like I just have to keep going because I've got to prove that I've done it.
Leah's got a lot to be proud of. It's no easy thing sustaining a business for over 17 years. In fact, big tick. But pride only pays you so much. It doesn't put money in the bank. In my experience, business owners are always putting themselves last financially. The invoices and employees' wages all get paid first, and often there's not a lot left over to cover their own wage, let alone putting money aside for superannuation, for the future. Because there's a difference between you and your business.
3 or 4 years ago, I promised that there would be an end point to the business, and we did survived COVID and felt quite confident that once we'd survived that, I could continue on for another couple of years. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, hoping to continue to grow the business despite what's going on, with the view that one day soon someone might come in and take it over from me and love the business as much as I have done. So I'm preparing for that next milestone.
Her success early on almost felt unplanned. Then she probably started to overthink it a little bit. She was always looking for what's next for different stores and moved the business around. So I think Leah really didn't ever trust her success, and I think she still probably would not necessarily call herself successful. I think she absolutely should. She's put so much of herself into the business. So I think it's been a really challenging thing to work through emotionally, working out how to let go.
Because I'm so passionate about what I've created, I would love to think that it had a life outside of me and the name would live on and the business that people have loved and have come to for years would continue to survive. I mean, that would be the dream.
Beyond the financials, businesses are emotional things for entrepreneurs. So getting ready for an exit from a business means you've got to get your mind ready for that exit as well. Hello, Leah. Well, tell me about selling and all that sort of stuff, or what your exit might look like.
Probably about 4 years ago, it became something that I started to think about and started to engage the idea that maybe it was a saleable business.
Let's explore what it looks like then if you were to sell. How will you feel if you can't sell it?
I mean, if I close it down, it probably won't sit with me well, in a sense that it will be for me a perceived failure.
Yeah. How do you judge failure and success relative to owning a business?
So, I mean, while on a day-to-day basis, I feel successful in the sense that I'm doing a great job, people are loving what I'm doing. But on the flip side of it, I've taken on this small business, which oftentimes hasn't been as financially rewarding as one would hope.
But if you've been 17 years, so you've been through the GFC?
Yes.
Survived it?
Yes.
You survived COVID,
Yes.
which is a very tough environment to survive for any
Yeah.
retailer.
Yeah.
You're still here.
Yeah.
And based on what you told me, you've still got a loyal customer base,
Yeah.
and everything seems to
And
be going
I know
okay.
we'll survive the next 6 months as well. Like, it may not be
Yeah.
as rewarding, like financially, but I know we'll survive it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have any fears that.
But therefore, that's fairly successful.
Well, we're still here. I guess that's a measure of success.
Now I'm asking, are you successful, not the
No.
business? Because
Am I successful?
do you feel as though you're successful if you have to close it down?
No.
Is it about the end? So you look at your success or measure your success based on the end point. In other words, I didn't sell it, had to close it down. Do you, or should you measure your success? Say, no, today I'm closing it down. I'm going to look at the last 18 years or 19 years. I've got through this, I've got through that. I've paid a whole lot of staff wages, super. I've made a lot of happy customers. I've got a really good customer base. I've made some money out of it on the way through. I've enjoyed all the flexibility that working for myself does. Isn't that a good measure of success?
It is, yeah, it is a good measure of success, I agree. But you would like the last tick in the box, then that would be a success.
Yeah, interesting, because the way I measure success is based on the people that I was exposed to.
Yeah.
And also by the number of people I helped. In other words, in my case, it was how much money I lent to people to buy houses or apartments. I thought that was the best measure of success, not how much money I made. I don't see, because that number can change any day. You might make money on Thursday, you could lose it on Friday.
I mean, it hasn't been about the money, because if it had been about the money, I wouldn't have been here, because there's been years without money. But for it to get to that end point, and the business is, if it's for sale, would be for such a small amount of money, that's not really a reward anyway.
Yeah, correct.
But it's just the tick in the box that, someone else has taken it over, so it's a success, and that someone else is prepared to take, has given me affirmation that they like what I've done enough that they're prepared to take it on.
That's interesting. So I think you're too tough on yourself. I actually do.
Yeah.
I think that I think the fact that you're sitting here right now telling me that all the things you told me you've got, the assets you got, if someone doesn't put any value on those because of economic times or whatever the reason is, it doesn't mean you haven't done a great job. You're successful in yourself. Do you think, as a vendor of a business, that if you feel this way, in other words, resolved in your own mind, sell or close, that's very binary, that a buyer might not get that vibe, and you could be actually hampering your chances of being successful? Brokers are much better at selling the momentum that you present. You've got to get them in the right headspace.
Yeah.
So you can't be saying, by the way, if I don't sell, I'm going to close it down.
Yeah.
You don't want them ever thinking that.
No.
Ever. And same as the accountant, because these things have subliminal effects on people.
Yeah.
And you want them to be their best self
Yeah.
in terms of what the asset you're presenting them to present to the marketplace. What emotion would you have if you had to close it down? It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you have to close it down, have you thought to yourself, how would I feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it does worry me because, I mean, even the thought of putting the business on the market worries me because I feel as if my identity is wrapped up in the business. You know, that's how I get, you know, my value in what I do on a daily basis. So it does worry me because what do I do afterwards? Because I've got this all-encompassing job that I spend days and nights working on. So just walking away from it would be devastating. Do you think that lots of people, I mean, lots of business owners can separate themselves?
No, but they have to try. It's important to detach. It doesn't mean you don't run the business with passion and purpose and all those things that the business stands for. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Right now, you're attached.
Yes.
And I can see it. And it will be a problem.
Yeah.
Whether you sell or close.
Yeah.
It'll be a worse problem if you close.
Yeah.
Because you also judge yourself on that final tick.
Yeah.
I think all of this mindset that you have developed and you've got will actually hamper your ability to sell it.
Okay.
Because your businesses are ready, but you're not.
Ready, yeah.
Whether you're starting out or looking to exit, getting your head in the right place for what you are thinking about is critical. Either way. And entrepreneurs need to indulge their passions, by the way, but keep a clear head about how you do that. Because if you're always telling yourself it's a game of survival, you're never going to play the game that allows you to thrive beyond surviving.